For the big story, and while my pundits will soon be giving their 2 cents on the recent pandemonium in the palace, the Sun newspaper are reporting that the King may consider stripping the Sussexes of their royal titles. Is this a worthy sanction after these unfounded allegations about the King and the Princess of Wales emerged this week? Well, let's get the views of fearless royal author and biographer Angela Levin. Angela, what do you make of this, the royal racism row? Do you think it was a publicity stunt to sell more copies of this book?
Well, I'm sure it was one thing that they'd set up. It was either a publicity stunt or they wanted to be absolutely as nasty as possible.
Right.
And I think that I've been waiting. I think if Harry and also Meghan don't actually threaten to sue the author, then there's something really wrong, because that means they've accepted it, they might even like it, and it is just appalling.
And have they come out and spoken out in defence of King Charles?
They haven't said a word. You know, they're copying the royals. They can't bear it when the royals don't speak.
Yeah.
And now they're not saying a word. But
so they've chosen this one time, to keep their mouths shut and say nothing.
Yes.
And just leave King Charles hung out to dry. Because he was pictured, he's at COP28,
yes,
lecturing us all on how to reduce our carbon footprint while he flies around in a private jet. I'm not having a go at him for that. But he looked stressed and he looked worried, and apparently there are reports that his doctor had been by his side all week.
Well, he did say, somebody asked him how he was, and he said, I'm all right, sort of. And I think that's really sad, and it's actually quite a big thing for him to say, because he's always trying to be kind and nice, and he doesn't ever do me, you know.
It's a bit like one of those vague Facebook posts that women sometimes do, though. Like, just checked into hospital, no more information. But
yes. Well, you can't expect him to say too much. But any adult would see what sort of pain he would have. I mean, it is just horrible. And it gets worse and worse and worse. And there seems to be no end of it. You know, interviews, Harry writing a book, now this second book from COVID, and then Meghan's going to do one. I think they must actually come to an end of this spitefulness. Yeah. And it just shows how important it is to them to win, especially Meghan. I mean, she's very formidable in that she has to win. Yeah. And I was just reading something this evening before I came in, that one of the big reasons is that she felt she wasn't given enough time to speak out, that she had grown a professional woman, so she should be absolutely more sought after than Catherine. This is an absolute spitefulness, so that she's getting her own back. But she did come to think that the Queen would want all her ideas on making the royal family modern. Yeah. Well, I think she would have accepted some if she'd had time. You know, if you change your country, you change what you're doing, you come to such an extraordinary family, you need at least 2 years, I would think, to get used to them and get used to their ways.